want you to ponder these 4 questions. Here's the first one, and that's why. Why pay the price? Why work this hard? Why go this far? Why try to learn this much? Why develop yourself to the full? Why try to become all that you can possibly become?
I know you're tired. I know you're hurting. And I wish I could say something that was classy and inspirational. But that just wouldn't be our style. Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Right on.
Shotgun. DC right. Flip 90. Dig. On the center. On the center. Ready?
That's a good question, why? And you're the only one personally that can answer that question for yourself. You've got to have your own list of whys. Here's what I want you to do when you go home after you've left this extravaganza. Work on your list of whys. One of the big thrusts for success is to come up with a strong enough why. In leadership training, here's what we learn. If the why is powerful, the how is easy.
Some people say awakening kills your motivation. That once you wake up and see through the game, you won't want to play anymore. And perhaps you felt that yourself. You start asking, if life is just an illusion, why bother? Why chase goals? Why work hard? Why get out of bed at all? It's a strange feeling, isn't it? To look at the world and suddenly see the shine come off. Like the prizes you once chased don't quite sparkle the way they used to. And yet, that's where many men find themselves. You've built, you've worked, you've carried the weight. But when the game no longer fools you, the question creeps in, now what?
Thinking purpose equals money. Oh boy, did I go wrong with this one. Playing for the paper is the fastest way to lose yourself, and it's the fastest way to lose your soul. My whole life in my early 20s, I was doing things where I told myself, you know what, I'm on my purpose, I'm leveling up as a man as long as I'm making that cash. The more money I made in my early 20s, the worse I felt inside because I had no purpose to why I was doing it. Now, when I look at a project, now when I look at work, now when I look at anything, it's all about the purpose and the drive and the creativity and why I want to do it and why I want to put it into existence.
Now, here's number 2. The first question to ponder when you go home is why. Here's another good answer to why. It's the second question, why not? Why not see how much you can earn? Why not see how much you can learn? Why not see how many skills you can develop? Why not see what kind of person you can become? Why not see what kind of influence you can have? Why not see how many people you can rescue from oblivion? I want you to take that personal. Why not? Why not?
Kane, what are you up to?
Just, watching the game.
Nervous?
No, I'm good.
You're like a duck on a pond. On the surface, everything looks calm, but beneath the water, those little feet are just turning mile a minute. You'll be fine. You just have to find a way to lead your team, earn their respect.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Me? I'm just another duck on the pond.
Hey, Coach, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, shoot.
Why me?
I look at you and I see 2 men. The man you are, the man you ought to be. Someday those 2 will meet. Should make for a hell of a football player.
What is it worth? What is it worth? And that's what I've come to so many times in my career, in my life, is that I've said the safe road is going to pay off. There are many payoffs to it, but I can't be there and have my soul be on a completely different track. I just, it's always worth losing to me. It is. It's always worth risking. And if if this other side of me is not a popular one in the scheme of things as far as movie tickets go, then you know what? I'll find a way to sneak it in there. I'll make a plan. I will show myself. You know, I will find a way, and even if I'm not as popular, I will live in that area. I will expand myself. I mean, I started out with many desires as far as this business goes, and I've so surpassed all of them that it's not as meaningful to me anymore. I really love the work itself. I've examined myself on several occasions. Why am I really doing this? Am I doing this because I want to be famous? And I think there was an element to that when I started out. Sure. I wanted to be a rainmaker. We should talk about that a little further.
Well, what does that mean?
That means...
Is this awakening? Or is it the end of your drive? But that's rather like a child who discovers that hide and seek isn't serious business and then declares, well then, I shan't play anymore. You see, the whole charm of a game is that it isn't serious. If it were, it would be work. And the beauty of life is very much the same. When you awaken, you don't stop living. You simply stop clutching at life. You realize it's a dance, a play, a marvelous hide and seek between what you think you are and what you truly are. But the ego doesn't like that kind of play. The ego wants medals, trophies, something to wave about and say, look at me. And when it fails, it collapses into self-pity. Oh no, I've lost my drive. What's really happened is quite the opposite. You've been set free from the dreary business of proving yourself. And in that freedom, the ordinary shines, walking barefoot across the floor, watching a leaf tumble through the air. Each one a small miracle, if only you pause long enough to notice. Because, let's be honest, what most of us call motivation is usually nothing of the sort. It isn't energy. It's anxiety in a clever disguise. A little whisper inside that says, go on now. Achieve something, prove something, carve your initials into the universe before you vanish.
Now here's number 3. Why not you? I wish I could say that to each of you individually, but it would take a couple of lifetimes to sit down and talk with each of you individually. But I want you to take it personal. So my personal question to you is, why not you? You've got the brains, you can make decisions, you can study the plan, you can change your life, you can grow immensely in the next few years, you can make your dreams come true, you can build a financial wall around your family nothing can get through, you can become healthy, you can become powerful. Why not you? And I'm here to say that I'm ready to pledge my support to make your personal dreams come true. I asked the question, why not you? But I'm not going to ask it and just walk away. I'm going to ask it and walk with you.
I think I wasn't necessarily seen as much or as intently as I wanted to be when I was a kid. I had a job, at least in my own mind, and that was to make my mother feel better. She was kind of very ill in many ways, and so it was to make her feel better. And I think ultimately, I imitated my father. He was a very funny guy, but also I felt some need, and maybe I don't know whether they created it or I created it, but I felt the need to make them feel that their life was worthwhile, that they did something special just by the very fact that they brought me into the world. Yeah. So from a very young age, I wanted to convince them that I was a miracle. And then I wanted to convince the world that I was a miracle. And now I want to convince the world that I'm just like them.
So you went from convincing first you're a miracle and then that you are just like them.
Yes.
And how does that play out today in terms of convincing the world you're just like them, that you are?
Well, what I'm finding is an interesting thing, because I have a lot of people asking me, well, are you afraid that people won't accept you? And I know that in my life, and at least in my, the circle of people I know, and know my friends that know my work, it seems like, and even people I talk to, like you, it seems like people are almost waiting for it. that they've suspected that there's another level to me, and they're kind of intrigued and interested in what that might be. It's that, and it's an addiction, honestly. I mean, I'd love
An addiction to just knowing yourself.
Yeah, an addiction to trying to figure out and maybe this is an impossible task, but everybody's looking for bliss, in some way or another. And I think I've come to the realization lately that that bliss comes in waves, and everybody gets a certain amount of it.
Yeah.
But in between, it's just
is
hard work being in this body.
And that it is the unwise person to expect bliss will be there all the time.
Absolutely, absolutely. But you look for it. You look for it, and you wonder why you're off the beam all the time, or whatever. So I'm constantly examining myself. I probably do it too much. I've always overthought everything.
I mean, you're reading Emerson, and you read,
right. Which is like the big thing for me, in life right now is the excerpt from Compensation, the essay he did on compensation, where it talks about that man would see mermaid's head, but not the dragon's tail. Yeah. And this is something that happens over and over and over in my life, in relationships, in choices that I make professionally. A lot of times you just don't want to believe in the bad, but the bad is there. The negativity is there, or the obvious drawback to the situation is there, but you just go, I want. Yeah. And that comes down to thy will be done and everything biblical. So I'm always struggling with these concepts. My desire is my only problem in this world.
Your desire?
Yes.
To do your appetite?
My appetite, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. To prove everything and to be everything.
And now here's my last question. My very last question on the questions to ponder is, why not now? There never was a better time. Take this dream and not let it die. Take this dream and give it life. Take this dream and breathe into it your own personal spirit until finally it becomes a flame that burns around the whole world. Let's go do it now.
Work hard. Be somebody. And be something more than what you see in the mirror. Let the world be your mirror. Don't let them judge you, because the mirror can't judge you. You judge what you see in the mirror.
Right on.